over the past probably 10, 15 years in terms of the competitiveness of all the markets. They've gone more global. The product life cycles have decreased significantly. And the combination of those with increasing competition has put tremendous amount of stress on companies, and in particular the product development functions within those companies. The big push on reducing the time to market, coupled with the globalization and the demand by the customer base for unique solutions, has resulted in almost like mass customization. This has all increased demand for collaborating across boundaries, across languages, and cultures. The tools that we've had in the past, be they email or formal documentation and even processes, as a consequence, have broken down. And you see a lot of inherent friction in organizations that keep you from really achieving your potential. That has resulted in a need for a new generation of tools. Tools that are much easier to use, tools that really promote seamless collaboration with the minimal amount of overhead. I've been in situations where you see email chains that go on for days without achieving any sense of closure. And that's because it's hard to extract necessary information out of a lot of dialogue. So how do you go about solving these kind of problems? Well, obviously you need better business processes, but you need also better tools. And that's where a company like Colabus comes into play. They can offer solutions to help address a lot of the communication and collaboration problems, in particular across teams operating in different countries with different social norms and different languages. That's when email starts breaking down. That's when even spoken communication starts breaking down, because there are different assumptions about timing, there are different assumptions about priorities, there are different assumptions about how to communicate the basic technical information. So it's really critical that as organizations look for ways to optimize and get better functionality out of their resources, that they address the tool limitations, not just the organizational limitations. So one of the biggest challenges that I've faced in managing large organizations, and I've seen multiple times, is speed to a decision or speed to action. And as the organization size grows, you have a lot more people, a variety of functions, all having to come together to collectively attain a conclusion. If you don't have the right data, if you don't have the right background, if you don't have the history, a common set of history, then that speed to decision breaks down. Okay? So again, collaboration and the tools of collaboration become extremely critical to getting everybody up on the same page, same playing field, and understanding all of the different variables that enter into it. If you have, say, 3 or 4 different teams, which is pretty common now, and they all have a different set of history and different understanding of what's happening and where they need to go, then how do you get them on the same page quickly? You cannot do that through email. You cannot do that even through a 20-page document. People won't read it. So you have to be able to pull together the organization in ways that really differ than when you can put them all into the room. If you look at one of the attributes of Agile and Scrum and such, is get everybody in the same room and let's all move forward together. Let's put things on a board. Let's manage it that way. How can you do that when you have a team in India, a team in Japan, and a team in New York? It's not going to happen. So you need a virtual set of rooms that everybody can participate in. If it's not organized in an easy way, if it's not easily accessible, then it's lost. It's like conversations. And therefore your software your tools need to be able to do that. And that's an extremely important aspect. I've been involved in organizations that have a lot of online tools, but finding any information on those online tools is extremely painful, and as a consequence, it's not used. People would tell me, "Hey, the information that's online, just go look here." Right? And if it takes me more than 30 seconds to find it there, I'm not going to go very often. So again, it goes back to having the right platforms, the right tools to make the information accessible, make the information organized, make the information useful so that it impacts the decisions that you're trying to make or impacts the problems that you're trying to solve. And it's got to work across multiple time zones, multiple cultures, multiple languages. So very early in my career, I learned the concept of to pay for a day. If I look at a development project, let's say you have a 1-year project, and just to make the math easy, say it's a $12 million project. 12 months, you're spending $1 million a month. You can break that down to a day. Okay, so now you're spending tens of thousands of dollars a day. So the project team, the project leader needs to be thinking about how much am I willing to pay to take a day out of my project? How much am I willing to pay to take 2 days out of my project? When you look at it from that perspective, even 5 to 10% increases in the effectiveness of the team that result into reduced time to market has huge benefits from the project cost perspective. But we all know that particularly new products, it's not about just the cost of the project, reducing it 5 or 10%. If you get to the market a few days earlier, a few weeks earlier, the benefits in terms of margins and market window are enormous. Any new tool, any new platform, broad-based, across an organization from scratch. It's very hard to get it right, and you're going to meet an enormous amount of resistance. So you have to have a certain amount of patience, but you also have to maintain a vision on the importance of bringing your organization to a higher level. If you lose that belief, if you lose that vision, then the rollout will stall, and you'll never get the investment back on that initial work, and your organization will continue to function at the level that it was before. And if that happens, then the rest of the world is not standing still. So even if you're performing at the same level as well as you were 5 years ago, it just means you're performing significantly less well than everybody else, because everybody else is making progress. So again, it's always a challenge to try something new. There's always a mountain that you have to climb before you get over it, and you have to understand that. That's just part of the change management process. So leadership is about understanding what is the right hill to climb, so that there is an absolute benefit when you get over that hill, and then been able to communicate that vision to the organization so they give it a shot. And then trying small, experiment, learn, and take the hill one piece at a time. But once you get over that, your organization will be performing at a much higher level than it was before, and that's a benefit that stays with you forever, that you can build on and then roll out through the rest of the company.